Hello, everyone. We are live for our February Book of the Month discussion for Once Upon a Read Along. We are running a little bit behind today.
That was my fault.
But it's okay because we are still getting this done. So in February, we discussed Wires and Nerve, Volume 2, Gone Rogue by Marissa Meyer. This is the second graphic novel in the Lunar Chronicles graphic novel duology, and as far as we know, is the last piece of the Lunar Chronicles that we are getting, which is very sad. I know.
Yeah.
So as per usual, we will start with our general thoughts. These are the non-spoilery parts of the live show, and after a couple minutes, we will start with spoilers. And if you have any questions or comments, you can leave them in the chat. So, Kat, would you like to go ahead and start?
Yes. So I just finished this book like on Friday morning. I finished this book, and I really enjoyed it. I gave this book 5 stars, and I was hesitant going into this book because while I did like the first volume, I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I was going to, especially considering it's a Lunar Chronicles part of the Lunar Chronicles world, and it's a Marissa Meyer book, which I love every single Marissa Meyer book. In the first volume, I felt very disconnected from the characters. I just didn't really connect with the story. I found it entertaining, but then I went into this book and everything changed. I loved this book from beginning to end. I thought it was really good. I definitely connected with the characters in this one. I did just a lot of times I felt really emotional about it, especially in regards to Iko coming to terms with her humanity. And I really enjoyed how, what's that guy's name? Is it Liam? Whatever. I love that he started coming to terms with Iko's humanity, because I feel like he's the only one who hasn't gone on board that she's not just a regular android. She is someone who, she's different. She did develop some kind of a soul. So I did really enjoy the aspects of this book, and I totally ship them, and I wish I saw more of them. And so that's why I'm actually really sad that the series is ending, because I want to see more interaction from the both of them, because they are just they have such a good relationship together.
His name is Kinney. Kinney. Kinney.
Okay, good.
Kinney. Okay. So when I actually read the first one, God, like a year ago now, I actually had the complete opposite opinion of what you did. I actually felt more connected with the characters, seeing like the visual aspect of it. And while obviously like I'm not picturing them exactly the way that they're drawn, I still it helped like immerse myself in the book. With this one, it was the same thing. I love everything Marissa Meyer does, let's face it. And this was no exception. It was a 5-star read for me. I read it exactly a week ago. I finished it last Sunday. And I really enjoyed it. And I agree with what you're saying about especially with Iko coming to terms with her humanity. And especially I like how we are seeing how she was created, and we're seeing like flashes from the past. And I thought that was very interesting. And I think those are my general thoughts. But I did predict like some things that were in here, which I thought was pretty cool as well.
Yeah.
So I did forget to take notes, even though I had a whole week to do it.
Okay.
But I guess we can start at the beginning with and we're going into spoilers now. But with Wolf and Scarlet being confronted by the wolf pack that was against the Lunar Queen.
Yeah, it definitely took me by surprise when Wolf went with them, because I guess I should have known that he was kind of like still on Cinder's side, but it still took me by surprise, and I understood why he did, because one thing that he's always struggling with is, is he a monster or is he not? Is he an actual, an animal, or is he a human being? He's always struggling with that. And sorry. And so it took me by surprise, because I know that he's so loyal to Cinder, and so, but I understood why he went, because he wants to have that hope that someday he could be returned back to his human form. Yeah, but I was still surprised when he went along with the other guy.
Yeah, so was I, because I part of me thought like maybe he was going in as a spy, but we didn't really know. And we only saw him in brief flashes throughout the story. I do like to point out that these two books are apparently before the Stars Above the epilogue in Stars Above.
That took me by surprise.
Yeah. And I feel like if like I had read Stars Above and then I read like the first volume of this, then I would be able to see that instantly, because I think Stars Above mentions Cinder abdicating the throne, but I'm not sure. But I do know that I do know that the wedding happens in that epilogue, and in the very beginning of this, he's trying to get the courage to propose. So I think the timeline is interesting.
Yeah, that's true. I was surprised by that too. I was like, wait, I thought the wedding already happened, but yeah, it was interesting that it was before they actually got married.
Yeah. And if you guys are like, if anybody's like watching and you actually have not read the main Lunar Chronicle series, if you decide to pick up these, just know that you're literally going to be spoiled within the first 2 or 3 pages of volume 1 of the graphic novel. It spoils the entire series. But I feel like you would pick these up like if you'd read the series anyway. Oh, excuse me. So what should we talk about first? Now that we've talked about the beginning.
I'm
trying to like skim the thing and see what there is. Well, I will say one of my predictions was actually towards the end, where what's the bad guy's name? Well, let's see.
Lester?
Steele.
I'm so bad with names. Yeah.
Me too. Towards the end, when Steele wants Cinder to confront him, and it's like it's supposed to be like the final battle, but it's not. And they're all fighting, and then Aiko says she has an idea. I totally predicted that she is just going to be in a Cinder, like put her personality chip in a Cinder. What are they called?
Yeah. I predicted that too when she said she had an idea. And I was like, oh, she's going to sacrifice herself. And the part where her memory chip gets destroyed.
Yes. I
was devastated. And then by Kenny's reaction, it killed me even more, because he was just finally starting to accept. Well, I think at that point, he finally has accepted that, she's more than just an android. And it was so sad. And I was like, oh my God, how are they going to come back from this? They can't kill Eiko. That's just like not right.
And the thing is, I knew they were going to bring her back, because when I was looking to see how many pages this was, like it's on the last page and I could see the picture of her. So like I knew they were going to bring her back. It was still sad though.
Yeah. And I was still sad that even though she did come back, she lost all those weeks worth of memories.
Yeah, that was sad.
She lost all those memories of her and Kenny's interactions, and I was like, no, you're all back to the beginning.
Yeah, I guess she was like, she lost weeks up to the end of like the first volume.
Yeah.
I think I should have reread the first volume, because like it would have been so easy to, but I was like trying to get through Illuminae, and I just decided to pick this up.
But yeah.
Another thing I was gonna say. So the ending with the actual final battle, I thought was really awesome, because I did not see that coming. And while like I wouldn't necessarily say it's like a quick solution, but like I thought it was really cool how they had everybody as AIs. Is it AIs or
Androids, yeah. Artificial.
androids? That's it. Android's the word.
Yeah, that was cool too. I was like, I wasn't expecting it either. I was like, but that was pretty genius plan, actually.
Yeah. And I wish we kind of had. Well, I mean, I guess this would take away from like the element of surprise, but like I don't think it says whose like idea that was. But then it would have taken away from the element of surprise, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Okay, nothing in the chat. But remember, if you have any questions, you can tweet us or we'll tweet us at One Third Along, or talk in the chat.
What was your favorite part in the book?
Anything Cinder and Kai. I don't really know. Like, I think.
Go ahead.
Like, I know this is like a series all about Aiko, but like I live for Cinder and Kai. Kinder is everything. So I'm just like I just want anything Cinder and Kai.
I definitely like one scene that stuck out to me was when they were visiting Peony's grave.
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
And then Iko stayed behind, and that moment between her and Kenny, and then she hugged him, and I was like, I felt so. I love that scene. It was such a beautiful scene.
Now I want to find that. See, I forgot about that, and that was sad.
That was
I like when oh, here it is. I like when Kai gave Cinder the peony's personality chip, not personality chip, her ID chip. I thought that was adorable and sad at the same time. Oh, here's a good moment. I completely forgot about this.
That was a good. I was screaming.
The reuniting of Cinder and Kai. See, do you think we're going to get anything more Lunar Chronicles now that this is over? Or what do you think?
I think I'm not sure. I would hope I think so, but not for a few years. I think she's gonna try to branch out towards other projects, like with the Renegades thing, and maybe do something else. Maybe she just wants to take a break. But there's so much story to tell here that I do think that she could potentially come back, but I don't think it will happen for a while.
Yeah, because I mean, the last Renegades book comes out this year, and she normally releases 1 or 2 books a year. So I'm curious, like, what will be next? Like, so next year.
I like the idea of the graphic novel. So I think if she were to continue, I would hope that she would at least continue the stories of the graphic novels.
Yeah, I'd kind of want. There's 2 things I would want. I would want a Cinder and Kai wedding. I've wanted that since Stars Above. But then I would also kind of want to see what the elections are like on Luna, yeah. And maybe the outcome of that and what it's like not being a monarchy. I think that would be interesting. Oh, excuse me.
Having like the royals, I guess, of the higher class of Luna try to bring down the new democracy that she's trying to establish.
Because in the first one there was a lot of opposition to that. And there's still opposition in this one. And we see her actually giving the speech saying that she's abdicating the throne. But then there's there's all these people nominating themselves, and then it gets a little bit more exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm glad the guy won though, didn't he?
I don't remember.
The older gentleman, what's his name?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, she did.
He did win. It's Jason's dad.
Oh no, it didn't. He didn't actually win. It just says on page 318. It says that he had because with Cinder's official endorsement, it says I think he stands a good chance. And then on the next little box, it says that Winter didn't accept her nomination.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't say he actually won. It just says that he actually has a good chance of winning.
Yeah. So like, yeah. So I hope
that would
we.
be cool. Like, I can see, especially with, like I said, the higher classes. I can see people perhaps not wanting to accept this new change, and there being riots. It would be fun if she wrote like at least a third volume of the graphic novel to kind of go into that, but I don't know.
Mm-hmm. So one thing, I actually want to talk about the cover for a second, and I talked about this when the first one came out, but I'm kind of over it now. But like, why orange? Like, why not red to match the rest of the series?
That's true. I didn't think about it. I mean, I don't think that I like the cover, but I didn't think about the whole have it be, red like the series.
When the first, before the first graphic novel came out, and we only knew like, I think it was probably before we got a synopsis, but we had a cover. Looking at the front of it, I thought that was supposed to be Scarlet, because in the cover online, it looked, the hood that she's wearing looks red, and the where everything was orange, it all looked red. But when I physically got the book, I was like, well, that's not red. This is orange. And I mean, like I said, I'm over it now, but at the time, I'm just like, why orange? Why not red? Like, for one, it would match the entire series, but I also just don't like the color orange. That's just me, though. Oh, excuse me again.
Yeah, I agree. I think, I don't know, maybe she wanted to separate the graphic novels from her actual series, and that's why she chose a much different color scheme.
Yeah, probably.
But I do agree that I don't think orange, this bright neon orange, looked the best. But I mean, I got over it really fast.
Yeah, I'm just being nitpicky. Oh, and one thing, I actually noticed this either yesterday or the day before. I was putting this book back on the shelf, and I'm putting it next to the first one. There's actually, we got a different artist for this one than we had for the first one.
Did we?
Yeah, and the only reason I noticed was because on the spine it has the Meyer and then the artist's last name, and they were different.
It's a different artist.
Yeah. But
they look essentially the same.
They look exactly the same. That's why I was so confused. But like, it looks good. Like it's very, very similar.
Yeah, I mean, Steven, whatever his last name is, did a good job copying like the style of the first guy.
Yeah. I'm gonna see if it. Oops, that's loud. The first person was Doug Holgate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really good.
I can see like subtle differences though, now that you mention it. But
do you have the first book with you?
Yeah.
Mine's on my shelf, so I'll probably have to look after. What do you see as far as like differences?
Like, I feel like the second book, there's more details, especially to the characters. Like, yeah, like especially like around the eye, there's a lot more details. I'm trying to find a good example here. I don't know, but I feel like it looks essentially almost the same. It's just very subtle differences.
If I hadn't seen that yesterday, like saw the different artists, I wouldn't have known.
Yeah, I mean, now that you mention it, I didn't notice until you told me.
One thing I thought was cool, and we only really got this in one of the not the short story. Well, yeah, the short stories, or the novellas, and I don't remember which one. And I like, and it's that I like seeing, I guess Cinder's stepfather. What's his name? Lynn Garrison? No, that's not right.
Yeah.
That is right.
Lynn,
okay.
Garen, whatever. Something with a G.
Yeah, now I'm trying to find it. But I liked seeing that and hearing a little bit more, and that ties into Aiko learning more about her personality, or well, her humanity. Excuse me.
Lynn Garrison.
Garen. So I thought that was really neat. I can't remember the novella that we see where he actually gets the whatever the plague was that was going through.
Right.
And that's really the only time that we see him, and that's in Stars Above. But I thought this was a nice way to tie it into her humanity.
Yeah.
I am so tired.
It was funny though that seeing where Iko first got like the very base of her personality, because obviously she has grown, but seeing where like the beginnings of her personality started, like her obsession with Kai came from peony and everything, and it was a really cute scene. And at first I remember Iko being upset about it, that her personality is because, oh hey, he was trying to create a friend for peony, but eventually she accepted it, and I really enjoyed her character growth in this book.
I thought it was kind of like sad when she thought that she was being replaced by Cinder when Cinder was coming. That was sad. And like the stepmom wanted to sell her for parts, and we're just like, no, where would we be without Aiko?
Yeah, but at least he saved her personality chip. So that's the biggest thing. At least he saved her personality chip, and it was Cinder who eventually like put her back together, right, for the first book.
Well, Cinder put her. Yeah, she did end up putting her back together, and then Cinder saved her personality chip after Adri took her apart.
Yeah.
And then she's had so many different forms. So she was original, then the ship, and I guess now this. Huh?
The escort.
Oh yeah. Isn't that what she is right now?
Yeah, she's an escort. And then she became Cinder for a while.
Yep.
And she's back to her escort.
Yeah. I wish we had more of Cress and Thorne in this.
I was gonna say that. I feel like I barely saw them at all. Like, I feel like it kind of took a back seat to all the other characters' story arcs, but
yeah, and when we did see them, like they had their personality. Like Thorne was weird and witty, I guess, or trying to be charming, and Cress was smart. Like I wish we'd gotten more of them, specifically Thorne, because I thought we got like at least some of Cress, but we didn't get any of Thorne.
Right, yeah.
I'm running out of things to talk about.
Well, it's like it's a graphic novel and it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
I do feel like in the ending, I was kind of hoping a lot more of the
Cat, where did you go? Okay, well, we're gonna take this brief moment to. Oh, here she comes.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
Okay,
I was just saying we're gonna take this brief moment to figure out where Cat went.
I think my internet's just going like crazy, but I was gonna say that I was expecting more of the wolves to like give themselves up, because Cinder made this super pretty speech at the end about how, you know, there's all these other guys and they're just like you, but they found their place in society and they're contributing to society, and they've been reunited with their families and they're doing totally okay, blah blah blah. And I really thought that more of Steele's wolves would have been like, oh, okay, you know, I don't want to, I want this, I want to be as normal as possible. So the fact that almost none of them did was kind of like disheartening. And I was kind of hoping that Steele will also change his mind instead of like dying, but whatever.
Oh well.
I was kind of hoping for a happy ending for it, but whatever.
I'm on Marissa Meyer's website to try and see like if there's anything else besides arch enemies that we know about, but no, just arch enemies.
I can't wait for that. That book is going to be super. I hope it's super long though.
I have executively made the decision, not like 9 months ahead of Y'all Fest, that I'm going to read it on the way to Y'all Fest.
Why?
Because you're driving.
No, but I meant like why did you just read it?
Because I can.
When does it come out?
Like 2 days before we leave. Same as it did last year.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Oh, you could put it on audio. You can get the audiobook and then we can listen in the car. Yeah,
provided the library has it. That early.
That's true.
Yeah. Why that one? Because you're driving and I can.
That's fine. I don't care.
Yeah, because I think we've already said that that's going to be our November book, so may as well get a head start.
Hey, it comes out, because it comes out so early in the month, so it'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, I got nothing. You got anything? Anything else?
No. Just that I hope Marissa Meyer writes more, because it's a really good story, and it's a story that can go in a lot of different directions from now. So yeah. I hope she writes more in the future.
Me too. All right. So I guess final thoughts or recap.
Overall, I would highly recommend you guys read the graphic novels if you haven't yet. They're graphic novels. It took me, this one is like, what, 500? This is 324 pages, so it's the longer of the 2 volumes. And it took me about, I want to say like because I read it in 2 days, in 2 sittings. I say it took me about an hour, maybe a little bit longer than that to read. And the first book only took me not even that long. So it's a very quick read, and it's such a great story, and it's a great continuation to what happens after winter ends, and you're reading from Eiko's perspective. And so if you loved her in the Lunar Chronicles series like I did, then it was amazing. So highly recommend it. It really wraps up nicely to some of the answers that were left unanswered in the ending of Winter. So I would highly recommend if you guys haven't yet. Both volumes are out now, so it's not like you have to wait until the series ends. So
yeah, I actually read this in one sitting in 4 hours.
Maybe I'm exaggerating the whole 1 hour thing, but I was trying to say
yeah, you said an hour. Well,
yeah,
like that,
I don't think it was an hour now that I think about it, but yeah,
it's
a quick read. 4 hours is
quick. That day I had finished Illuminae at like 8:30 that morning. So then I was like, okay, well, I want to film my wrap up today, but I want to read this book. So let me read this book and then I'll film my wrap up. And I think like I read it like off and on during a 4 hour chunk, and I got it done. So yeah. I also highly recommend Lunar Chronicles and anything Marissa Meyer does. All of it. I highly recommend it.
Her Heartless book.
Too. Heartless. Oh my god, yes, Heartless. Heartless, Renegades, the Lunar Chronicles, all of it. I highly recommend. I do hope she does some more Lunar Chronicles things in the future. It is my favorite series, one of my favorite series. And yeah, I give it 5 stars.
One thing I want to say, if she decides not to do like continue on the Lunar Chronicle series, I hope she starts a new fairy tale retelling. Like she did, like a little bit like she did with Heartless, but except not a standalone. Like give us a whole series again. Yeah. She's really talented at writing fairy tale retelling. So, and
I hope her Y'all Fest meeting time is not at the time of another person this year.
Right? Yeah.
Okay. So it is currently March, and when we started this, I almost said our March discussion, but that's not right. So for March, we are going to be reading a book that is not out yet. It comes out on March 13th, and that is Obsidio by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. You're super excited for this. I'm excited too now that I've read the first 2 books.
Yeah. And you read them so quickly. I'm so proud of you, like how quickly you read them. Like I thought you were gonna be like with Akaward, like the week of our live show, like reading them.
No, now if I could just do the same thing with the Throne of Glass series. So we are going to be reading Obsidio, and our live show is actually going to be on Sunday, April 1st. No, that is not an April Fool's joke. Excuse me. So we will be doing it Sunday, April 1st at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is also Easter, so if you're doing anything with family, this will always upload to YouTube, and you can watch it later.
It will also be having a guest host with us.
Thank you. I keep forgetting.
Yeah, so our good friend Desiree from Libri Labra will be joining us. So there will be 3 of us, which is so exciting because it'll be nice to get a third perspective too on things.
When she messaged us yesterday, I was driving and I like briefly glanced at it. I was like, what is she talking about? Because at first when I saw Obsidio, I thought it said Orlando, and I was like, are we supposed to be going to Orlando? And I just don't know it. Like I was really confused, and then I was like, I keep forgetting. But you had my back and you responded.
Yeah.
So yes, Sunday, April 1st, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this channel. That's like 3 weeks to read the book. Which if I read 2 of them in 2 weeks, and you guys can read 1 of them in 3 weeks.
Yeah. I'll probably binge read that book in one sitting.
I'm so glad to have a break from the series right now.
I'm sure. Yeah, I know it's like, especially because I feel you don't read a lot of sci-fi, right? So I'm sure it was a weekend at once.
I guarantee you right now, I have read more sci-fi this year in the 3 months or the two months that this year's been going on than I did last year. I'm serious. Like,
well, it's good. You're expanding your horizons. I feel like since this year started, I've been reading a lot more contemporary, and it's all because you.
Yay.
Like you keep telling me, like Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. I was never intending to pick up that book, and then you read it and you kept raving about it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna read it too, and then I ended up loving it. So
yes, and you own The Upside of Unrequited. I literally finished that like 5:30. I finished it.
Did you really?
Yeah. Because I was
last time I asked you, you said you were currently reading it. So
you asked me that this morning. So yeah, I think I was almost to page 200 when you said that, or I was like just after page 200. And it's only 336 pages. Plus, it's Read-A-Rama. I gotta be on my reading game.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
And tonight, right? Yeah. Oh no, it started.
No, it started yesterday.
Right.
Yeah. So where's your reading spirit, kitty cat?
How many books? I feel like you've been reading so much lately. Like, how many books have you already finished? And it's only the 4th day of the month. 2. Dang, girl, good for you.
To be fair, I started Gemina on Monday, and that was like the 26th or the 27th.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but still, good for you.
All right, so that is the end of this live show. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys will join us for our Obsidio live show. What? Oh, Obsidio.
Yes.
So we will see you guys during our Obsidio live show Sunday, April 1st, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on this channel. And you can follow us for updates on live shows, read-alongs, everything on Twitter at Once Read Along. So make sure you follow us there for updates. And we will see you guys in our next live show. Bye. Hold on.